The next thing we're gonna cut is our mushrooms. So with mushrooms, I know a lot of people are afraid of them because they're like, oh, you know, they're dirty, all this other stuff. When you take them out the pack, that's just a small inconvenience for the protein powerhouse that they really are. Super versatile. You can use them in pretty much any recipe that has a meat ingredient in it. And they do a really good job of soaking up all of the flavor in whatever dish you're using it for. So I take my mushrooms out of the package and I give them a light rinse. I don't rinse them super heavy because a lot of times the mushrooms, you want them to saute really well. And if they're too waterlogged, if there's too much water still on them, they won't get that nice saute that you want to see. So I just wash them enough to get the loose particles off of them. And technically, any marshmallow that you get like from your supermarket, that's just substrate on the bottom. It's not actually dirt or soil or anything like that. It's substrate. It's not gonna hurt you. It's edible. So usually I take my mushrooms after I rinse them off. I put them on my cutting board, and I like to take a nice dry hand towel or paper towel and just pat them. Get all that excess water off of the stems and out of the caps so that when I go to saute it, the oil isn't popping up from the water, but also they get that nice brown sear on the outside. For my mushrooms, I like to take them apart and use them for two different things. So my stems I use for my soups, and my caps I actually use for my recipes. I slice them like that. Once I have all of them sliced up, I just place them in my bowl and they're ready to go. My caps, I put them in the veggie stock, or I freeze them and throw them in the pot when I want to do my soups and stews. Mushroom caps are great for meat replacement because they're full of like vitamin D, right? Really, really, really easy to grow in your garden, and they're super sustainable. This is my preferred meat choice. So again, I just remove off the stems to use these for something else. I noticed that the caps hold more flavors than the stems do too when I cook stuff. And then I just slice them like that, and they're ready to go. If you want to get really creative and you really into sustainability, look into dehydrating your mushroom stems. So I turn my oven to 250, throw my mushroom stems in there, and I let them dehydrate for a few hours. Then I take them out and I throw them into my food processor, and I use that umami mushroom powder to cook my eggs. I put it in tofu scrambles. I put it in anything where I want more of an umami flavor. You don't have to have a dehydrator to dehydrate your food. You can do it in the oven on super low for a few hours, and it's just as good. A lot of people are using them for like coffee too now, which probably tastes good. I'm not sure, but there you go. So there's our mushroom caps and our mushroom stems, two different options for your meat protein.